Polo Line TV, and here we are at the Trippetts Challenge final at Cowdrey Park. So a final of the warm-up tournament. La Magdeleine playing against Murus Sanctus here at the Trippetts Challenge. The opening high goal of the season here at Cowdrey Park Polo Club. This, of course, one of the warm-up tournaments leading up to a Queen's Cup starting at Guards in the next week or so. My name is John Kent. As I said, we're here with Polo Line TV, bringing you all the high goal here at Cowdrey throughout the season, as well as medium high goal tournaments. Your two lineups then: Murus Sanctus, Corinne Ricard, Alejandro Mucio, Palito Perez and Marcus Araja. La Magdeleine, Alexandre Gores, Facundo Gerente, Pablo McDonough and Santi Laborde. These two teams, they did play each other in the opening game of this tournament just last week. On that occasion, it was Murus Sanctus coming out the winners 10-8. Your two umpires in this game, Henry Fisher, Peter Wright. Third man in the stand is Ben Turner. So as I said, these two teams, they did play each other in the opening game of this Trippetts Challenge. That game played on Brooksfield, and that was Murus Sanctus coming away the winners that day, 10-8. Well known throughout the years, of course, here in the high goal circuit over in the UK, Murus Sanctus, and around the world, of course, with their teams in Argentina and around the European circuit. They have come so close to winning this tournament before the Gold Cup, that is to say, at Cowdrey Park. La Magdeleine, their first year playing the complete high goal circuit. Pablo McDonough, Alexandre Gores, they were part of the side that got to the semi-finals of the Cowdrey. Both of these sides, when you have the talents of the likes of Pablo McDonough, Palito Perez, are in with every chance of going all the way in at these tournaments. Murus Sanctus, they are out there in the whites. La Magdeleine in the grey with the gold slash. Six chuckers, of course, in this high goal level. With it being the warm-up tournaments, do expect plenty of these horses to be getting changed throughout, of course, getting them all ready, as I mentioned, for a Queen's Cup starting at Guards. But whenever there is a chance of silverware, these sides will always do all they can to make sure they get their hands on the trophy come the end of the day. As I said, we are delighted to be bringing the high goal season this year from Cowdrey Park live to you on Polo Line TV, as well as all medium goal tournaments as well at this wonderful polo club at Cowdrey Park. And we'll welcome to you, of course, wherever you are watching in the world. I know we have people waking up in the US, in South America, Australia, Europe, Africa. A big welcome, and we are underway, and straight away there it comes with Laborde for La Magdeleine. Santiago Laborde. Behind him is Fernando Gerente, but it's still here with Laborde. Waiting closely is Palito Perez as Laborde just sees his number two come in there, and it's now time for Facundo Fernandez Gerente. Has a look up towards the goal to flex off the pony there just of a second of Araja, and Araja now brings it away here for Murus Sanctus. Marcus Araja being chased closely there by Laborde. Their two come together, and it's going to be controlled by Araja over on the boards. Where is McDonough? McDonough's gone down the ground, so it's still here with Araja, just slowing it down. McDonough went in just to have a little bit of a sniff, and the umpires have called this one, it looks like, in favour of La Magdeleine, as we have the umpires come down in favour of Pablo McDonough. 9 goals here in England. There's been 10 everywhere else, of course, and part of the exciting side alongside Facundo Perez and the two Castagnola brothers in Argentina for the season coming up. As a shot goes now to Pablo McDonough, being watched closely there by Araja. Those two spending plenty of time together early on in this game, and the backhand is hit, but it's Fernando Gerente who picks it up this time in front of Mucio. Fernando Gerente round the outside there. Alejandro Mucio has to be quick as Fernando Gerente takes it up towards the goal. He's about 15 out, still under pressure there from Fernando Gerente. Left behind, picked up there, and the goal is eventually scored, and it is La Magdeleine who get the opening goal of the game. Fernandez Llorente going round the outside, unable to get close to him there. He scored. It was Santi Laborde applying for finishing touches. So players back in the centre. Ball goes in play. It's there at the front of the line out for Fernandez Llorente. Fernandez Llorente there to the left-hand side again of Araja. Araja and Fernandez Llorente going down the boards, and it's still going to be here. Fernandez Llorente going in for the hook there was Araja. Got a touch of the ball. Picked up now by Pablo McDonough. His first time on the ball here as he comes up against Perez. Backed up again by Fernandez Llorente, and waiting in for there is Polito Perez. Fernandez Llorente brings it round, goes up into the 60. Still here now with Fernandez Llorente, just taking it up towards about the 40-yard mark, but the whistle blown on the ground. So a lot of pressure coming from the Lam. And then Araja, and it's going to be a penalty 2 in favour of La Magdeleine. We'll see, there's a ball on the 30 and the 40. It does look like they settle for the 30. So Pablo McDonough, a chance here to take. It's been a while since we've seen Pablo McDonough here in the Gold Cup at Calgary. A lot of excitement about his return. Player who has won it all around the world with this 30-yarder. Opens the shoulder, scoops it up through the centre of the goal, and La Magdeleine, just over 2 minutes played here in the first of our 6 chukkers, go away in an early lead. A very different kind of field for first game where these two played, where it was Murus Sanctus who kept pulling away and La Magdeleine coming back. So La Magdeleine keen for a quick start, and that is what they've got thanks to a field goal from Laborde and then a penalty 2 from their captain Pablo McDonough. Players back in the centre of the ground. Ball's thrown in. Watch how Pablo McDonough just floats around the black, but deflects off the front of the pony, and it falls now for Santi Laborde. Laborde, part of a Marquez Turiscal side who got for semis last year, sends it up. Polito Perez, he's back, picked up there for a second by Fernandez Llorente. Now in comes Polito Perez in defence. Big neck shot. He was looking for Araja, so I know for Musio to make the run, but instead it's picked up here by La Magdeleine, still on the front foot, and again it's Fernandez Llorente spinning it round. Now just with the tap, he leaves it for his teammate. Coming across there was Perez. The umpires have a look, but they're happy here for Murus Sanctus to bring it away in defence with Polito Perez. Having a look to his right, ridden out of it and picked up now by Pablo McDonough. McDonough still inside the attacking half, looking to turn and face. He's got Polito Perez watching him closely there as Pablo McDonough takes it up to the right. Now looking to take on Araja, still here with Pablo McDonough, just sticking on the end of his stick there, the ball for Pablo McDonough as he comes up against Araja now. Araja sticking close to McDonough, sends it up left, looking for Fernandez Llorente. Perez appealing for a foul as Fernandez Llorente on the near side sends it over the back line, and it looks like the whistle went just before, so that will be the halfway point of the first chukker. So a lot of the players you will see will go and change onto fresh ponies. As we have a look on the instant replay again, you see there Pablo McDonough, just a beautiful little pass. It's whether or not there Fernandez Llorente just hovered over that line. He did at the end play it on the near side, but with Polito Perez there, he could not go over it for a second. So it does look like it's going to be a penalty shot in favour of the white shirts of Murus Sanctus. As I said, common theme throughout this tournament, these players, you see them changing at the halfway points of the chukkers, just allowing the horses to get a bit of air as we do move ourselves up towards the business end of the high goal season. And it's going to be Polito Perez. Has looked to his right-hand side. He's got Araja getting there in a bit of space in front of Fernandez Llorente. Fernandez Llorente coming in, taking the ball on the near side, hitting the open backhand. Beautiful play as he's able to find Pablo McDonough as well. Pablo McDonough with the cut shot up towards the goal. It hasn't quite got the accuracy, just wide to the left-hand side. Polito Perez, it was just watching it. You saw for a second McDonough thought it was just going to creep inside that left-hand goalpost. But it's Perez bringing it into play. Perez with the tap. has to look in front of him. He's got runners to the left. Instead, he looks to take it to his right as well, where Fernando Llorente's been defending well from the front all of his first chuck of Fernando Llorente, not giving Perez any space. And just as I say it, Perez does run round to the left. And now a chance to watch Pablito Perez run. Sends it long, looking for Karine Ricard, who's got away from Alexandre Garres. It's Karine Ricard out in front with the half swing towards the goal. It's going to go close. Karine Ricard left behind. And the backup couldn't quite get there in time from Alejandro Mucio. Beautiful play by Pablito Perez. You saw them all head towards him. He had Karine Ricard out in front. She had an inch of space away from Garres at the front, but just couldn't find the goalposts.
2 minutes left.
La Magdeleine, they survived their first real scare of this game.
No.
And they have a ball on the back line with Laborde. Like I said, part of the Marquez de Riscal side, also playing in this Trippetts Challenge tournament that got the semis of the Gold Cup last year. As he sends it long down the ground, there was Pablo McDonough looking for Facundo Fernandez Llorente again. In comes Araja, who gets the better of his man this time and spins it round here for Murus Sanctus. Marcus Araja taking it up towards the halfway line, up there against Fernandez Llorente again. He gets round him, has a look. He's got Karine Ricard out in front. It's a lovely drive down the ground by Araja. This one could go all the way as Pablo McDonough comes in, back in defence, just making sure that his side, they maintain that 2-goal lead. Tail backhand across his own goal. He knew exactly where Facundo Fernandez Llorente was on the turn as he picks it up now in front of Pablito Perez, and he sends it long, and they have let Pablo McDonough go, and somehow McDonough all on his own. The 9-goal player from Argentina taking it up towards the 60. It's a procession here for McDonough. This looks like it's going to be free. Pablo McDonough tapping it up towards the goal. Just a little bit of pressure coming from Perez, but McDonough makes no mistake. And what a beautiful goal. And you never see 9-goalers get into space like that, all on his own. Delivered the pass. Facundo Fernandez Llorente put it on the end of McDonough's stick. And you just see Pablito Perez about to come into the screen, but McDonough so calm, so cool. Pablito Perez came back. Former teammates, of course, in Argentina. The goal is scored. Pablo McDonough, like I said, so great to see him back at Calgary, and you will see him play every single game in the Gold Cup here on Apollo Line TV. What a season it promises to be. Do keep your eye on the Calgary website. That is where you can get access to all of these games. As it's turned around here and picked up here by Mucio. His first big chance here to get Murus Sanctus on the go. The first buzzer's gone on the ground, so we've got 30 seconds left in this opening chucker. Hits under the net but left behind, and it's backed there beautifully by Laborde, finding McDonough. McDonough now have a look down the ground for Fernandez Llorente. Fernandez Llorente waiting for the pass, but McDonough just slows it down, keeps his cool. Now does send the next shot. Didn't quite get the clean connection, so coming back onto it there is Mucio, who hits Vittel. Mucio looking now to see if he could find Araja, but it's Pablo McDonough instead. McDonough taking it to the left-hand side of Marcus Araja. He's got just a couple of seconds to go. There does go over buzzer. It brings an end to the opening chakra, and what a performance it has been by the La Magdeleine side so far. Facundo Fernandez Llorente with the 1 goal. Pablo McDonough, a penalty and a field goal for him, and La Magdeleine, they lead 3-0 for Murus Sanctus.
Yes, it's a pleasure. It's my first time that I play with La Magdeleine here in England. It's the 4th year that I come with them. But last year I had a problem with my visa, so I couldn't play. So happy to start and happy to play with La Magdeleine. Well, last year the team was going to be with Pablo and Oli Catmore, but I had the problem with the visa, so Min Podesta entered. They did really well. And after, when the season finished, Oli was called by Black Bears, that he always played with them. So we called Santi, that he was available. And well, we are close friends with him and we have a good relation, and he's a great player, and we called him. We are staying at Whitley Farm. It's a place of White Crane. So we are keeping the horses there. Now it's a really nice place with our field, and we have everything there. It's nice to be in the final. I think we are playing again against Murus Sanctus again. So it will be a nice game, so as to get prepared for the Queen's Cup that we are starting on Tuesday.
Fernando Llorente during that break. So great to see him here, and he was so impressive in that opening chucker. It was Pablo McDonough who got the 2 goals, but Fernando Llorente particularly impressive defending from the front on those set plays for Murus Sanctus, not giving Araja, Polito Perez any time as they look to see where their number 2, Murcio, is doing the work. And it was, of course, his pass as well that found Pablo McDonough in so much space to run away as he did as well. But 1 chukker played, first of our 6. La Magdeleine certainly looking the sharper, turning for backhands. But Murus Sanctus, we know Polito Perez, we've seen him go all the way in tournaments, captaining sides to the Gold Cup in years gone by. And we are back underway in the second chukker, and it is Polito Perez. What can he do to get his team going here? Polito Perez with the tap to his right-hand side goes Araja, doing the blocking work there up against McDonough's Murcio as Polito Perez takes it up over a halfway line. Watching him closely there is Fernando Llorente. Fernando Llorente will want to make sure Polito Perez doesn't get a sight. It's sent down up towards Corinne Ricard again. Can she apply the finishing touches? It looks like the back line is just going to beat her to the ball, but it's just beaten there, Araja as well. Big chance for Murus Sanctus, but it goes back over the line. And it will be, once again, La Magdeleine to bring it into play. But just a little opening there for Polito Perez, seeing as he looks to manipulate just any space for himself as it now falls for Laborde. Sends it up right straight away, looking for Fernando Llorente. Fernando Llorente will pick it up in front of Murcio, who's watching his man closely. Look for Pablo McDonough down the ground. Fernando Llorente sends it long. It's going to go straight to the Murus Sanctus defence, so it was good play by Araja to take away Fernando Llorente, and Polito Perez takes control. Perez, stolen away by Pablo McDonough. The 2 9-goalers come together, and Pablo McDonough, what a spin there by McDonough, and he's found Fernando Llorente. Fernando Llorente out in front, offside, near side, bounce on the ball, and it's just gone wide to the left-hand side. Big chance there by Fernando Llorente. Polito Perez looks around at his team as if to say, where were you, defence? Pablo McDonough stole it, but Fernando Llorente... Sorry, Santi Laborde it was who got away. And just wide this time. Sorry, that was Santi Laborde with the miss. So, Perez this time sends it out looking for Murcio. Murcio, he's got Araja close by. Pablo McDonough looking to take on Araja, but that presence of Pablo McDonough, just enough of he's under pressure there from Araja. Pablo McDonough brings it round on the near side, still under pressure. He's got a couple of Murus Sanctus players crowding him out, and now it's left for Fernando Llorente. Fernando Llorente with the tap, bringing it up, looking for the big shot up towards the goal, but it's just wide to the right-hand side. Big pressure, though, coming in this period of play from La Magdeleine. First Laborde and then Fernando Llorente, just hitting the ball wide right on both occasions. So Murus Sanctus to bring it away with Polito Perez. Perez again, straight into him is Fernando Llorente. Fernando Llorente forcing Polito Perez into the long drive, looking for Corinne Ricard. Corinne Ricard has Pablo McDonough to deal with. Pablo McDonough coming in. Corinne Ricard on the offside. The umpires don't like it. Murcio was coming through. Corinne Ricard was just wavering around a little bit as Pablo McDonough came down. As we have a look on the instant replay here, you see Corinne Ricard, she knew McDonough was there. She goes to ride him off, and she felt she'd had the right to take it on the offside. Araja certainly had the right on the near side. It wasn't him they blew. It was Corinne Ricard who just had to stay on that man. She nearly did the play on the 9-goal player, but it's gone in spot in favour of Laborde. Laborde sends it left, looking for Pablo McDonough. Pablo McDonough looking to get there. To his left-hand side there is Fernando Llorente. Fernando Llorente, the confidence to tell Pablo McDonough to take away the man and give him the ball. So Fernando Llorente now gives it to his number 4, Laborde. Laborde with the next shot towards the goal, and that is straight through the goal. What a finish that is by Santi Laborde. Lovely play by Fernando Llorente. And the confidence these players have in each other, the Magdeleine side. as you see here, giving it to Laborde under the neck, about 50 yards from goal, and a beautiful finish straight through the centre as we approach the halfway point of this chukker. So players will go off and change again, and it's Murus Sanctus still under pressure. They trail 4 goals to love. So you see there, Alexandre Gares, his La Magdeleine side, as I said, first year playing the Gold Cup here at Calgary Park. So great to have him part of this amazing British Open tournament, starting towards the end of June through until the penultimate weekend of July. They did get to the semis of the Queen's Cup at Guards last year. Pablo McDonough, that time it was Ollie Cudmore. He was in that side. Ollie Cudmore, of course, playing with the Black Bears side. Return of the famous Black Bears shirts in the high goal this year as well. So great to see so many teams competing at the very highest level here in Europe in the calendar. But in this Trippetts Challenge final, La Magdeleine, like I said, defeated by Murus Sanctus in the opening game of this tournament, 10 goals to 8, and they were always trailing in that game as well, so very different complexion on it as McDonough sends it up long, but he didn't quite have the accuracy this time. Goes up way over to the right-hand side. Just for a second, he felt his fancy his chances from a full 120 yards out. So it's going to be Murus Sanctus with the ball on the back line. 2.5 minutes remaining in the second of our 6 chukkers. Polito Perez with the tap to his left-hand side, finding some space there is Araja. Oh, he fancied taking on McDonough. He might come to regret that one. Pablo McDonough steals it off the 2 of them and now goes in between both Araja and Musio. McDonough on the near side sends it up towards the goal, but this time having it covered there is Araja, and he will just watch that ball go back up over the back line. So they will repeat that one. You often wonder with the 9-goaler Pablo McDonough hanging around in defence, sometimes just send it long. Polito Perez was trying to find space in the centre of ground as well. Instead they took him on, but they didn't come to regret it this time round. But again, they can't quite find the man on the knock-in. This time it's Fernandez Llorente getting there in front of Perez. McDonough comes across in front of Araja. They were waiting for a whistle. None was coming. It's sent down by McDonough. Beautiful clearing neck shot into the pony there by Musio. So they're not getting very far down the ground at the moment in their knock-in offence, this Murus Sanctus team. Third time lucky. This time it's going to be Polito Perez. Polito Perez, that clock still continues to tick. When the final 2 minutes of this second chukker, sends it right, this time looking for Musio. This time a set play, it does work. Araja has made a run down the centre of ground as Musio leaves it now for Polito Perez. Polito Perez, look how Musio just goes up towards Fernandez Llorente, Laborde, to give Polito Perez the time. Now Fernandez Llorente waits for Perez. Musio goes straight for him. One of the finest in the game, Alejandro Musio, at blocking for his teammates, and that, when you've got Polito Perez in your team, is always a strategy. He now leaves it for Araja. Taking it up towards Laborde. Araja with the shot down the ground, looking for Perez, but picking it up in defence will be Fernandez Llorente. Tail backhand hit instead by Pablo McDonough. Looking for Fernandez Llorente on the run. Fernandez Llorente just taps it up into the air, has a look to see where his runners are. Pablo McDonough wants to pass down the ground. It's there with Fernandez Llorente. Instead he keeps it right, looking for Laborde. Laborde goes for the next shot up towards Pablo McDonough, but just left a little bit short. And picking it up now at the front will be Musio with a little neck shot, looking for a run there of Araja. They're onto it quickly. They just look a little bit quicker on the turn at the moment. This La Magdeleine side, and Fernandez Llorente with the cut shot up towards the goal. It's going to roll close, but it's just rolled wide to the left-hand side. But this La Magdeleine side, as I said, particularly on the backhands, as the ball goes, they just look a little bit quicker at the moment than the team in white, Murus Sanctus. But just for 1 goal conceded, and that has to be the positive for Murus Sanctus in this second chukker. And as we do have time for one more play with Polito Perez. Polito To his right-hand side goes Araja. Down the centre of the ground was Musio, but instead does look for Araja. Araja picking up the space. The first buzzer has gone, so he's got under 30 seconds to try and damage a score for the first time in this game. He's sent down the ground looking for Musio, but Musio crowded out by both Laborde and Gares, but is picked up now by Musio. Musio now in between Pablo McDonough and Laborde. In behind him will be Araja. Araja, big bump and a ride-off by Gares. The umpires have a look. The whistle has been blown. It went wide for right-hand side, so we'll see what the decision is when the players come back onto the field. But either way, that is the end of the second chukker. As we have a look on the instant replay now, as you see coming down, it's going to be the angle that Gares comes in there, and whether he had the offside and Araja on the near side, and then if it was a legal ride-off or not. That is the decision that the umpires will be looking at between the second and third chukker. But it's another good chukker for the team in grey and gold. La Magdeleine, we see there on the screen. They only scored for 1 goal, but they were looking dangerous. They lead 4-love. As we approach the final chukker of this first half, and Pablo McDonough, see being joined behind him there by Fernando Llorente. And that combo certainly mean business at the moment. Pablo McDonough, as I said before the game, when you've got him in your lineup, you've always got a chance. And he has put together a squad that are really looking to go the distance in these tournaments here in England this year. But looking at where the umpires have placed the ball to begin this third chukker, it does look like it's going to be an opportunity for Murus Sanctus. So it was the ride-off by Garesse, just coming in behind the saddle there. So it looks like a penalty-free 40-yarder, so a big opportunity here. So yeah, just looking, it's actually a spot penalty, so it's closer yet, it's within the 30. So a spot penalty just inside the 30 to be hit there by Araja through the centre of the goal, and that is the opening goal of the game for Murus Sanctus right at the beginning then of this third chukker. This week, live action coming on Polo Line TV from Morocco. The Trophy International Mohamed V de Polo. The final will be on the 27th of May. We start there on the 22nd. So please do tune in to Polo Line TV. That's pololine.tv for live streaming of all the action from Morocco. Like I said, we are hosting all of the Cowdrey high goal tournaments this year up throughout the Gold Cup, and we are so excited to see how these two teams do as Pablo McDonough takes the ball up towards the 60. Had the space there for the next shot. Pablo McDonough and Polito Perez. In the first game, it was these two coming together a lot. The change in tactic by La Magdeleine in this second game is that you're seeing Fernandez Llorente's 1 year, Pablo McDonough a lot more, but this time they've got away, and it's Araja running away. Now looking to take over the defensive mantle is Laborde, but it's Araja making his way down the ground, just checks up, slows down on the grey, leaves the ball behind him, and it's picked up there with the backhand by Fernandez Llorente. This time it's going to be picked up by McDonough on the turn. McDonough there behind Polito Perez. McDonough, lovely stick work, just swooped it in behind him there to take it away from the oncoming Araja. So McDonough being forced back towards his own goal, taking it across, the confidence to come round in front of Polito Perez. Garesse just found himself in the way there of Polito Perez, so Pablo McDonough had a bit of space, and now going the scenic route on the far side. McDonough up over the halfway line, checking up, staying close to him there is Laborde. Polito Perez tracking every move there as Pablo McDonough now goes to the left. It's great play. He wants to do it all on his own. McDonough into a pony there of Raja. The umpires had a look. They're happy as Polito Perez came round, and a pretty much a repeat of it. Polito Perez hit it into the pony there of Laborde. So it's Pablo McDonough. Pablo McDonough with the next shot towards the goal. Wide to the left-hand side. Big opportunity there for Pablo McDonough, but this time just wide left. Lovely to see there. Pablo McDonough just for a second was turned over in favour of Polito Perez, deflected off a pony. Pablo McDonough had the chance. Wide left, so 4-1. And it's Polito Perez again taking over the knocking duties. To his left-hand side goes Araja, but Polito Perez this time fancies his chances of taking on Fernandez Llorente. Sends it up long, looking there for a run of Musio. Musio slows down in front of Pablo McDonough. McDonough watching him closely. Watch for the hands of Musio as he now moves up forwards, and left behind now for Polito Perez. Perez right, left to the left-hand side of McDonough. Lovely play by Polito Perez. Oh, he left it behind, but he's backed up this time by Musio. Musio with the shot. This one's going to go close. It's going to roll all the way. Karine Ricard, she just watches it over the line. The goal is scored, and 2 unanswered goals in this third chukker right at the beginning. This time it's Alejandro Musio. The umpires having a look. I think a couple of players talking to them as we see the instant replay here. Alejandro Musio sent it long, about 80 yards out. I think they're appealing for a foul. They're saying Karine Ricard was in the way, but the umpires not giving anything, so the players go off and change, as we see so often the case in these warm-up tournaments. So Fernandez Llorente, who'd been so effective at closing down Polito Perez in the opening 2.5 chukkers or so, finding life a bit more tricky in this third. You're seeing more of Alejandro Musio coming in, helping out his 9-goal captain Polito Perez. They'll be happy with the way things are going there. You see Musio coming back onto the ground, Polito Perez and Araja just having a chat between themselves in the back. So once again, a warm welcome to all our viewers around the world. We will be in Europe, in France, Chantilly, the 8th to the 18th of June. The inaugural Polo Nations Cup, all of those games live on Polo Line TV as well. So much polo to be watching throughout the summer here, the European season. But here in England, it's there with Polito Perez. Oh, everyone thought he was going. He had other ideas. He left it behind. First to Musio, then to Araja. Araja looked to get the clean contact on the ball, but it's fallen short and picked up. Pablo McDonough plays a little bit of tennis fit in front of his own goal. The confidence again of Pablo McDonough. When you could do that, why not? As he now just slows it down. Watch him closely. Polito Perez. Little touch to the left-hand side by Pablo McDonough, who looks to get going as Pablo McDonough. Polito Perez gives up the chase, and this could be dangerous as Polito Perez is... Pablo McDonough is gone. Pablo McDonough into a 60, now looking to take on Araja. Araja comes across. The umpire said he had enough room. Couldn't find the clean backhand. And now comes Fernandez Llorente. Fernandez Llorente with the tap. Coming in again was Araja, but this time the umpires do stop them in their tracks. The way in which Pablo McDonough took it across his own goal, flicked it up in the air, took it out the air, then ran down. That was amazing. Then on the play here, Fernando Chiaventi. I think the umpires tried to play the advantage, and then even if that wasn't coming, that was a foul by Araja as well. So a couple of fouls for you to take your fancy from there, but it is going to be a penalty shot in favour of La Magdeleine. And again, it just looks like it's going to be inside the 30-yard line, so a spot penalty. Pablo Magdeleine scored a 30-yarder earlier in this game, coming round to take again. Magdeleine scoops it up into the air, confident strike, and Pablo Magdeleine, it's another one for him, 5-2. But that was all about the speed in which Magdeleine was able to turn defence into attack in front of his own goal mouth. Lovely play by the player who, as we've said, has been 10 goals all around the world. Winner of the British Open multiple times, Pablo Magdeleine. As players line up in the centre, 2.5 minutes just over remaining here in this third chuck as it's picked up again by Laborde. Laborde in between Perez and Araja. Oh, the open backhand. Oh, Magdeleine was nearly gone, but spotting it this time was Araja. The umpire's happy he's got the space. Look how Musio goes straight towards Pablo Magdeleine. It's here now with Araja. Araja sends it long, looking for Perez. Perez offside there against Laborde. Laborde couldn't get him. Perez with the tap. Perez keeps it all. Beautiful defence in the end, and now Araja scoops it out of the ground, flicks it through the goal, and it is a goal for Murus Sanctus. Beautiful finish it was in the end by Araja. I think the ball may have just got a little bit stuck in the ground, as you see here. Clever play there by Araja. He knew if he hit it hard, that one could go anywhere, so he just scooped it out, finished it off. 5-3 now to separate these two sides. But good third chucker for the team in white. Came into it trailing by 4. Half that deficit as we approach the halfway point of this game, and it's Corinne Ricard hooked up the play there by Laborde. Laborde flicks it to right hand side of Perez. Perez with a near side backhand, but there were two La Magdeleine bodies waiting for him. Pablo Magdeleine now. Perez caught in between two. He chooses to go back with Laborde. It's Magdeleine with the half swing towards the goal. It's rolling wide. It's got to be tapped in there by Laborde, but he couldn't quite find the angle. Just sends it wide to the right hand side. You saw the speed in which he were going. Anyone who tells you the teams don't want to win these warm-up tournaments, just look at the speed in which Laborde tried to reach that ball before it went out of play to give his side another goal heading in towards the halfway point. But not to be. And it's Murus Sanctus with the play on the back line. Perez. Right goes Araja. Just dummied left for a second to give himself a little bit of space. Down the centre of the ground, it's Musio. If Araja can see him, he did see him. He didn't quite get clean contact, so instead it's going to fall here for Magdeleine. Magdeleine leaves it behind. Picked up there. Beautiful backhand, and they've turned it round, and it's going to be Perez. It's Perez, and caught there was Garez. He's not going to get him. It's Polito Perez all on his own. Out in front for Murus Sanctus. Polito Perez with the half swing. Coming back as Laborde. Polito Perez is going to roll left. He didn't quite read the angle there. Polito Perez so close. And that will be the end of the third chucker. What a chance that was for Polito Perez to make it a one-goal game going into the halfway point, but unable to convert. But it is a much closer game. La Magdeleine halfway through the Trippetts Challenge final. They lead Murus Sanctus 5-3. All of this game brought to you live exclusively on Polo Line TV.
Really, I was so impressed when I came first time here, because I was playing in France, and the level is so high here, and the organization is so wonderful that I was impressed. It's difficult to me to say if it was better, if it is better now than before. But I think it's perhaps more fun about the number of the teams. The level of the number of the teams is just incredible now. And when I began, it was like 8-10 teams maximum. This is a great difference. For me, it's a second life. I had a working first life with my company and everything. And after I am I am not working anymore, and it's a second life, and it's a really different life. And I have a passion for the horses for all my life. And this is, for me to play, it's like the cherry on the cake. All the way of life and all the horses and breeding, this is my passion, real passion. This is really nice for me because I am playing here for 10 or 11 years, I think. And we never did this final really, and I am very happy. And the players are amazing. The ambiance is wonderful with Polito, Ale and Kaku, and we have a very good time to win. No, it's and I think the best for me is not only win. It's more to have an ambiance wonderful with the players. And they count on me, and they count with me on the field. And I think the first time or second time I put a goal in this level, and this is incredible. And it's for me because they count with me, and this is important for me. Thank you.
As soon as I knocked on the door and the door was opened and I walked through that door, the sense of relief was just overwhelming. You're that comfortable that you can actually open up, and you're opening up to things that you've hidden for years.
No, it's always nice to start on the front foot. Obviously, we played with the same team last year, so it's nice to kind of have a little bit of continuity going into the season, knowing Lugin Bardo and obviously having played so much with Mather as well. So yeah, I think we're really excited. This is my kind of home season, so I really enjoy whenever we start, and I think we've improved on the horses a lot since last year. So I think we're in a good position, and we're looking forward to the start of the Queen's Cup. Well, I guess we all know each other around the barn. We're always, we know how, if someone wakes up and they're a little bit more quiet, we know why, and as kind of on a human level, we all get on very well. And then obviously in the field, you always need a little bit of a time to get used to each other and know where everyone's going to go. I've played a lot with Lugin over the past couple of years. Obviously I played with Bardo here last year, but still takes a bit of time to get used to each other, but we already have that first feeling of where we're going to be moving around on the field, so it gives you a bit of confidence going into the season. No, I mean, there's 17 teams. I don't know when the last time there were so many teams in the Queen's Cup, but obviously our objective is always to win it. We were fortunate enough to win in 2021 with UAE, and then obviously we got to the Gold Cup final the same year. Last year we didn't do quite as well, but I think going into this year with the same team and better horses, I think we're a young team and we're all maturing a lot. So no, I think we've got high hopes.
Castiglione,
So as you just see this beautiful ground here, lawns number 2. This is where the final of the British Open will be held in July, and it is looking beautiful. There's been a lot of rain in the UK and a pretty wintry start to the summer. But as we see these stats here, field goals looking good for both sides. Interesting that it's La Magdeleine, and I think that's the difference between the opening game and this one. They are dominating those throw-ins. You see they've won 7 of the 9 throw-ins, and that is where so much of the damage has been done. Good penalties by both sides so far, just for close ones. No penalty fours for either sides, but it is that all-important score at the top there. La Magdeleine leading Murus Sanctus 5-3 in the final of this Trippetts Challenge tournament here at Cowdrey. The annual curtain raiser to the season here at Cowdrey Park. So you see the progression there of the score. It was a good one for Murus Sanctus. That third chuck having been down by 4. Bring it back to the 2 goals. You started seeing just a little bit there the ways in which Polito Perez aiming to give himself in particular a little bit more space. He'd been so crowded out by Fernando Llorente in particular in the opening chukker. Came back in force in that last chukker. He himself as well going a little bit more towards Pablo McDonough, as the players do. Come out such a beautiful setting. As I say, it has not been an easy start to the summer here around the UK. A lot of polo got held up due to the wet conditions right at the beginning. Normally Cowdrey is up and running by the last week of April or so. This year nothing happened until the first week of May. First time this ground here, Lawns ground number 2, is being played on, and it is looking absolutely perfect out there at these sides battle it out. The other 2 sides in this tournament, Marqués de Riscal and UAE. Interesting, Murus Sanctus, they're the only side with a 100% record going into this final. UAE, they thought they had a real chance, having won their opening game. The side of Barto Castagnola, Tommy Beresford, Lucan Monteverde, and Heine Shaker-Meta. The other side of this tournament, Marqués de Riscal, Sapo Cassette, Santi Sonades, Chris Mackenzie, the South African. As I mentioned, that was the side that Santi Laborde, as you see in this game, he was playing for Marqués de Riscal last summer as they got to the semi-final of the Gold Cup. But all 4 teams here from this Cowdrey area that we've seen participating throughout the Trippetts Challenge, they will definitely be in with a chance come the business end of the season here. So 3 chukkers remaining then. Once again, a warm welcome around the world tuning in to this Trippetts Challenge final. Saying good morning to the west coast of America now, joining us over at breakfast. Hawaii as well, perhaps beginning to wake up. Please do interact on social media. Tell us where you are. Tell us your thoughts. We'll give you some shout-outs as the games go on. We will get underway with a hit-in favour of La Magdeleine, and a big, as you just see, our sponsors as well. We're, of course, so thankful for Clenova, making this all possible as Polo Line TV bring you every single game of the high-goal season here at Cowdrey Park, as it's here now with McDonough and Raja coming together, but ball goes up and over the boards. So that will be a penalty, just a spot hit. This rule brought in a couple of years ago here in England. You are penalised for hitting the ball over the board, so it's going to be here with Polito Perez. With the tap. Polito Perez bringing it up now towards Fernando Llorente. Left now for Raja. Raja with a lofted shot down the ground. That's going to go close. It's just rolling left again. And much like at the end of that previous chukker, couldn't quite get it in between the goalposts, but it is Murus Sanctus now, you would say, with more of the momentum in this game. So Laborde coming in now for La Magdeleine. Santi Laborde with the tap. Sends it out left, looking for Pablo McDonough a run. Oh, Pablo McDonough, look at the speed as he looks to run away from Araja. Closing down the angle at the back as well is Musio as Pablo McDonough takes it out wide left. Behind him is Fernandez Llorente. Pablo McDonough with the tap, stolen away by Araja. The umpires say play on for the time being as Pablo McDonough looks desperately towards him. Oh, the dummy backhand played by Araja. Look at the confidence there by Marcus Araja, taking it away in front of Pablo McDonough. Now leaves the ball behind for Musio. Musio picks it up. Pablo McDonough looking to get involved again. Musio, no clean strike on the ball this time, so Polito Perez, he's out of it, and it's here now with McDonough left behind. Just finding it there for Laborde. Laborde brings it round, sends the ball down towards the goal, waiting for this Fernandez Llorente. Fernandez Llorente on the near side. Oh, it's blocked off the doorstep by Polito Perez. Goes back over the back line, but what a chance that was against the run of play this time, La Magdeleine, and it was there for Fernandez Llorente. It's a beautiful pass down the ground by Laborde. Polito Perez backed himself to get it. At that point, you thought full certainty it was going to be a goal, but Polito Perez never gave it up. It's still a safety 60, but you would fancy that more as for Murus Sanctus defending side. So this is the first time for a penalty. Another new rule that you may well notice here, the eagle-eyed amongst you. On the safety 60s and 60s as well, you now have to be 40 yards away from the ball as it's being struck. Previous years, of course, it was 30-yard distance from the play. So they will be standing on the 20-yard line in defence. As you see Laborde coming round, taking over the penalty duties from Pablo McDonough, who's been taking the close ones. Laborde with the strike. It's a beautiful hit by Laborde through the goal. It just had enough distance on it. The perfect 60-1 that drops just over the line. And Laborde it is who restores that 3-goal advantage. Coming round there. Santi Laborde. Watch how he just out of reach. Nothing you can do about those. So players come back to the middle. Slightly against the run of play this time for La Magdeleine, but they're taking and they're looking to get momentum. Watch for McDonough. McDonough now looking to run past Araja. Araja's going back. McDonough urging his horse on. Can he get round him and get the near side shot? McDonough leaves it behind. What a backup play that is by Facundo Fernandez Llorente. It looked like Pablo McDonough was going to finish it off on the near side under pressure. Fernandez Llorente comes behind. Look at the strength, the speed, the power of Pablo McDonough getting round Araja. Called off at the last second. It was the right decision as well. He had the offside easy as you like, winning the inside of the field. And 2 quick goals. La Magdeleine well out in front now, 7-3. Plenty of time, of course. Not yet at the halfway point of this fourth chukker. So we'll see if the umpires say one more play before the changing of horses, which they do. And it comes here now for Fernandez Llorente. Fernandez Llorente there taking on Polito Perez. Polito waiting. Karim Ricard not far away either. Open backhand played. Looking for Pablo McDonough. Pablo McDonough there just waiting. It goes up over the boards. We'll see who the last touch was off. It looked like it may have been Pablo McDonough. In which case, which it was, it's going to be a Murus Sanctus ball just inside the boards. Murus Sanctus come again. Polito Perez. Waiting by him again is Fernandez Llorente. Polito Perez be sick of the sight of Facundo Fernandez Llorente, who gets him again. Facundo, can he get the ball as well? He takes the hook. Polito Perez desperately fighting, but look at the strength by Fernandez Llorente. And now going down for the pass there is Laborde. Fernandez Llorente slows it down. Pablo McDonough comes in behind. He's now in between Araja and Musio. Musio just waiting, so Pablo McDonough has no clean play as it just deflects there off the pony. Reaches up behind him, still there with Fernandez Llorente, eventually ridden out the play and backed away there by Araja. Taking the hook there was Perez, spinning it round, and now the counter-attack is on. Karim Ricard and Alexandre Gares, they are at the back of the ground as it's here with Polito Perez. The lofted shot down the ground, stretching the play for Karim Ricard. Karim Ricard going down the ground. Gares, he's there. He needs a backhand. He's over the top, but there's 2 Murus Sanctus players waiting, and Polito Perez, he will score the goal, and that is 7-4. Beautiful play by Polito Perez. Gares needs needed to hit the backhand. He couldn't quite get there. And Polito Perez finished what he'd started. The speed in which he was able to turn it round as he just taps the ball there over the goal line. Goal is scored. Players will go off and change again. We're at the halfway point of the fourth chukker. 7-4. Murus Sanctus just hanging around, as you see there. The famous ruins castle at Cowdrey in the background. Polito Perez riding off the field alongside Corinne Ricard. The two of them combine around the world to form this Murus Sanctus lineup. So plenty of time, but again, these teams, they do use this tournament to give the horses the air, to get them up and running. Amazing to see both of these operations. The amount of horses, the hard work going on behind the scenes, and they are all looking amazing. Sometimes the television screen doesn't quite do justice to the speed and the power of these horses, the way in which they are running. As we said, it has been a rain-interrupted season here at Cowdrey Park and throughout the UK. But they are now coming towards the two big tournaments, the Queen's Cup and then the British Open here at Cowdrey Park. Mine as well, polo line. We are going to be in Morocco, starting on the 22nd, through to the final on the 27th. Please do tune in for all of the games going on the European season, then Chantilly as well in the next month or so. But right now here on Lawns Ground number 2, the Trippetts Challenge final. Pablo McDonough backs it. Nobody turning though as Corinne Ricard goes back. Alexandre Garès looking to get there. Corinne Ricard beaten to it by Garès, who's now gone. Alexandre Garès here for La Magdeleine, looking to restore the 4-goal lead. Alexandre Garès is right there on the back line. Chooses to keep it in play. Who's going to turn first? It's running for Musio, but the umpires stop him before he can really get going. So we'll see there, Garesse, he hit the backhand, choosing to keep the ball into play. Just there, did he have enough angle? Who turned onto it first? It was on the near side there with Musio. Turning on the line was Laborde, and the umpires, they have given this one in favour of Santi Laborde. So it's going to be a penalty too. A 30-yard shot here for Pablo McDonough. McDonough with the shot along the ground. You can't stop them. 8-4 then. And La Magdeleine, every time Murus Sanctus look like they may just have a chance of getting back into this game, they just continue to stretch this lead. As the players come back to the centre of the ground. Just approaching the final minute or so of the fourth of our 6th chukkers. Ball goes back in play. They're in the centre of the line out. And it's going to be Garès. Garès stolen away from him for Polito Perez. Perez wants to get going quickly. Stolen away from him by Pablo McDonough with the backhand, finding Fernandez Llorente. Oh, Fernandez Llorente's left it behind, but he's backed up by McDonough. McDonough now coming through at speed. He's got Araja to his right, as well as Alejandro Musio. Still here. Oh, sorry, no, it's Polito Perez who's back there. Perez stealing it away from McDonough, looking to bring it away in front of his own goal. We've seen McDonough do this a couple of times, and now Perez looking to do exactly the same, but McDonough beats him, gets the ball, hits it in for Pony. Who turns first? It's going to be Laborde for La Magdeleine. Laborde taking on Musio, gets round him, going back as Araja. Laborde fighting his way through the goal, and what a score that is by Santi Laborde, picking it up, spinning it round. It's another field goal there for Santi Laborde, and 9-4. And look at the way in which he fought his way through. He was first round on the spin. First he had to get through Musio. Araja wasn't going to let him have it easy, but the goal is scored, and it is now 9-4. That is the end of the 4th chukker. So 2 chukkers left in this Trippetts Challenge final at Cowdrey Park. And La Magdeleine came into this as the slight underdogs, but at the moment they're leading 9-4 against Murus Sanctus.
Bueno, it's always good to play here in England. The weather was a bit bad with the rain, but finally we're here with the first game and back with Corinne and Murus Sanctus, so I'm happy to be part of it and looking forward for the coming season. Last year, when the season finished, Corinne called me and she mentioned that they wanted to do something together with Talandracas, with Eduard. And then I talked to Polito and he said, yes, I'm in, and bueno, nada, it happened last year, so I'm happy. No, the field amazing. Today it was, I think, the first game, and we had no excuse to miss the ball. I think it's probably one of the most competitive high goal season in a long time. You have a lot of teams that they have the chance to win, and we are one of them, so we have to aim for a semi-final, final, and then, bueno, nada, we want to win.
We're back here then for the fifth chukker. Great to hear in that break from Marcus Araja, part of a famous Araja polo family, of course, from Colonel Suarez in Argentina. One of the most renowned names in polo, has been part of many a successful campaign here in the UK, mainly around 15 to 18 goal sides. Emlaw, he's always part of the teams alongside Spencer McCarthy. He's been so successful in those levels, and he's had a real chance for the last couple of years in the high goal circuit as well. He will be wanting to have a real impact here for Murus Sanctus. Not yet out of it, of course, 2 chukkers remaining in this final, but at the moment it's going to take something pretty special. But when you've got Polito Perez, as I said there, with Araja and Musio continues to be, year after year, one of the toughest players on the circuit, and it's him on the ball now, just tapping the ball. Both Araja and Perez close by, as Musio just taps it up towards Laborde. Sent down the ground, long there by Musio, looking to pick it up. This is man they need on the ball. Polito Perez with the next shot. He was appealing for the foul. The umpire said play on. I'm not sure whether they were playing the advantage, but Polito Perez, he made the most of it. What a beautiful finish, just how he came round on the bend. He's still talking to the umpires. He wasn't happy with the angle in which Fernandez Llorente, I believe it was, there just came round. You see there, he's not happy, but he goes for the next shot, and what a finish it was. Sometimes these players just need a little bit of frustration to their shots, and Polito Perez makes it 9-5. Can we get another quick one now? Murus Sanctus still in with a chance. Here now with Araja. Araja to his left-hand side goes Polito Perez again. Araja under pressure there from Fernandez Llorente. Beautiful backhand played by Fernandez Llorente. And first on the turn, there is Laborde. Laborde in front of Musio. Laborde now looking to go. He's about 50 yards in goal. It's going to be Santi Laborde for another one. It's going to be double digits for La Magdeleine. They lead 10-5. And it's Laborde running through at speed. And if the first couple of chukkers of this game were all about the performance of Fernandez Llorente, it's Laborde in this second half who is proving so pivotal to everything his side do. Look, Musio coming back hard. He nearly got the hook there, but it was a perfect approach shot by Laborde. Takes away the man and just flicks it in on the near side. 10-5 now. La Magdeleine, they lead. As players make their way back to the centre circle. Ball goes in play. There it is with Araja. Araja spinning round in front of Pablo McDonough. Pablo McDonough leaves it behind now for Laborde. Laborde gets fed. Looking now to take on Perez. Perez is going back in defence as Laborde just sniffs around there to see if he can get any chance on the play. Look how Polito Perez just draws in the man. Now he uses a blocker in Araja to allow himself to make his way up down the ground. Waiting for a pass is Corinne Ricardo. That's where the ball is going. It's gone long from Polito Perez. The ball, well, it's settling time for Corinne Ricardo on the near side. She can't quite find it, and there is Pablo McDonough with the tail backhand. In for Pony there. Danger not yet over as Polito Perez comes round in front of Laborde. Polito Perez tells Musio to take the man. He didn't, and Laborde steals it away and gives it now to Pablo McDonough. The counter-attack is on for Pablo McDonough and La Magdeleine. McDonough with the tap. takes it right. Waiting there as Musio comes in. I think Magdeleine there has just asked for a little bit of time from the umpires. I'm not sure stick there didn't deflect onto the face there of Pablo Magdeleine. So just asking for a second. Does look like he's going to be okay, but they will give him the time needed. We also not far away from the halfway point, so a few of the players go off and change onto those fresh ponies. So as the attention in the high goal turns to guards next week in the Queen's Cup, all of the news will be on the website on Polo Line, so please do keep up to date with all the goings-ons, the interviews, the thoughts from around the polo circuit, and then Polo Line TV, sponsored by the likes of Fly Polo and Travel, making this all possible for any of your travel in between polo countries, whether it be to Europe for the European season, or if you're already thinking of Argentina, do make sure you speak to the team at Fly Polo. Concierge your travel between the countries, making it possible for these players to compete on the circuit as they do. Many of these players, of course, just finished the high goal season in the US, may well have gone home, of course, with many of them from Argentina just for a little bit to see the family, see the farm. Now here for the UK through until the end of July, as it's here now with Musio. Musio, beautiful backhand play, looking for Polito Perez. Polito Perez gets there quick enough for the umpires to say play on. We're in the final 2 minutes now of this, 3.5 minutes of the fifth chukkers. The whistle is blown on the field. Coming away with it in defence there were the La Magdeleine side, as we just have a look on the instant replay. Turning back in defence, Magdeleine thought he had the line there. There was no foul on that one. Oh, he had the near side play there. Fernandez Llorente came across, took it on the offside instead of the near side, so it's going to be a penalty, and it looks like a 40-yarder. Penalty free, favour of Murus Sanctus. It's a big chance here for Araja. So as you see here, Marcus Araja taking the 40-yard duties here for Murus Sanctus. There's Araja with the 40. It's going to go close. We're just waiting to see. It was close, but it looks like it just snuck inside the goalpost. La Magdeleine saying otherwise. They're going to have a look at this. It did look close. The umpires having a look as well. They were taught to the goal judge. It was along the ground, so you'd think they should be able to come to the correct decision here. It was hit hard and fast though by Araja. As we have a look at the replay on our screen, we do of course have the benefit of that, and you really can't make it out from that angle, but it looks like they're going to give the benefit of a doubt here to the defending side. Just wide. Oh yeah, deflected off the post. That's how close it was. So it deflects off the post, and what a great angle that is that we have a benefit of with Polo Line. Then they've got to decide whose stick it came off as well. Was it a safety 60? Still continuing to deliberate here. The umpires do have a third man in the stand as well if they want to talk to him. So just a bit of a pause. And if they look like they're going to give a safety 60. So coming across, defending, Pablo Magdeleine got the touch, deflected it onto the goalpost. So close, but it went wide, so Murus Sanctus will have to go again, this time from a little bit further out, but just to the right-hand side of the goalpost. So Raja going back round. Sorry, no, it's Polito Perez now. Perez taking the duty again. It's along the ground. It's deflected and stayed in play, and it's finished off superbly by Musio Perez. He would turn around and claim the assist, but that was all about Alejandro Musio. Just stopping the ball there. It was not the cleanest strike by Perez. You see it coming round on the safety 60. Just didn't get underneath it. It rolled along the ground. It was definitely going wide, but it was stopped superbly there by Musio. Applied finishing touch, and that is 10 goals to 6. Not long left in this fifth chukker. Ball goes in play. In there now comes Musio. Musio on the near side, beat into it by Fernando Llorente. Fernando Llorente again is gone every time. Murus Sanctus score. La Magdeleine, they come back, and it's Fernando Llorente. Bouncy ball picked up. Beautiful finish. And we mentioned at the halfway point the lineouts, how important they'd been. It was 7-2 lineouts won by La Magdeleine in the opening half, and that has not changed as the game has gone on. And you saw there Fernando Llorente was able to pick it up. Musio came back, but nothing he could do. He was praying for a lucky bounce. There was a bounce, but nothing Fernando Llorente was going to mess. So 11 goals to 6. Players come back to the centre. Just about a minute and a half remaining here in this chukker, and again the line out is won by La Magdeleine and Pablo McDonough. This time though being forced out left by Araja. Pablo McDonough comes across on the near side, picks it up, taking it towards the back line. Riding him off there is Araja, takes it back in defence towards his own goal. Called for a tail backhand by Musio. He just got enough on it. Musio getting a little bit stuck. He's got to be careful here with two La Magdeleine players breathing down his neck, but Musio brings it around, and a chance now to counter. Bit of control. Up high there by Musio, taken out the air by Laborde. Laborde has looked for the open back, and he's going to hope it stays in play, but it's not enough room for a play like that, but worth trying there by Santi Laborde. So it's going to be penalty just from the spot. Murus Sanctus. Under a minute in the fifth. They need a goal from this play. As Facundo Fernandez Llorente, he waits with Perez. Perez sends it out left, looking for a run on Musio. Oh, Musio nearly got there in front of McDonough, but McDonough comes around. McDonough now has a look to see where the players go. 2-1, and when they were hoping to make it 11-7, instead it could go the other way in 12-6, as is Pablo McDonough taking on Musio again. Polito Perez waits. Pablo McDonough with the tap, taking it in to the 30, to the left-hand side of Perez, to the left-hand side of Musio, leaves it for Fernandez Llorente, and it's stolen off both of them by Musio, who spins it round on the grey. Musio now in between McDonough and Fernandez Llorente. This time it's him who leaves it behind, and it's Pablo McDonough out the air, called off there by Facundo Fernandez Llorente, on towards the back line, spinning it around, stays in play, and brought away now by Musio, and somehow Murus Sanctus survive and look to go the other way now with Araja. Raja beaten to it by Laborde. Open backhand play there in for Pony there by Fernandez Llorente, and picked up now by Polito Perez. Perez looking to run. He's got time here for Murus Sanctus. The horse jumps over the halfway line. Going now is Polito Perez. He's being chased by Laborde. Polito Perez with the shot. It's on the doorstep. It's there for Musio. Musio with the near side. Can't find the angle, and that one goes wide to the right-hand side. And that is the end of the fifth chukker. Another big chance, and you can't quite see off your screen there. Polito Perez looks to the skies. He's frustrated, but it is 11 goals to 6. One chukker left in this game. La Magdeleine well in control as things stand. So we are back for a final chukker of the Trippetts Challenge final here. And as you just saw, in between the chukkers, Pablo McDonough running through some highlight plays for La Magdeleine throughout this tournament, and that is what we've seen plenty of today. But so well supported. As I said, Facundo Fernandez-Llorente in the first half, so impressive. Santi Laborde, he has really grown into this game, and it's those two combine as Fernandez-Llorente picks it up just inside his own half. Now sends it down the ground, looking for McDonough. McDonough, the 9-goaler, running up there against Araja. Araja this time gets his man, takes him to the side, chooses to take it round in front. McDonough checked up to give Araja just a little bit of space. Takes it up now over his own 60, opens the shoulders, looking for a run there of Polito Perez and Karim Ricard at the front, but again at defence, Laborde will pick it up. Laborde hits the open backhand, looking there for Fernandez-Llorente on the run. He was beaten out of it by Murus, and turning around first there is Araja. Araja called off the play by Polito Perez, who's here now for Murus Sanctus. Polito Perez, they need to get goal number 7 here to keep the pressure on La Magdeleine. He leaves it now for Araja. They're just inching their way, truck and trailer in motion as Araja opens it up, sends it towards the goal. Oh, it deflects off the pony of Laborde, and he keeps them play as well. And again, La Magdeleine, the defence is good as Laborde spins it round in front of Murus. Now looks to take on Polito Perez, who came in for a bite. Waiting at the back is Araja, as it's still here with Laborde. Laborde on the near side, up into the air, watches the ball come down, takes it out the air. Watching him closely now is Murus. Murus takes away the man, but Laborde got round him just for a second, couldn't get the ball. There's Fernandez-Llorente. Fernandez-Llorente with the big swing. The umpires, not sure they will like the effort he put into that swing so close to the opposition player. We'll see the instant replay, and there is a yellow flag. Yellow card, I should say, on the play as well, as we look on the instant replay. Dangerous play, they say, in the end by Fernandez-Llorente. Came round here. Yeah, the next shot into the body of Polito Perez, it was in the end. Results in a penalty, and they're going to move it all the way up to a penalty 3, it looks like, from here. So a 40-yard penalty in favour of Murus Sanctus. Just another chance throughout this game. Thank you to all around the world who've tuned in to Polo Line TV today to watch this Trippetts Challenge game. So great to see these players in the last of these warm-up games before the business end of the season really gets underway here in the UK. Like I said, please do let us know what you think of the game on all of our social media channels: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. We love hearing how you all enjoy this coverage. Brought to you by Polo Line TV, and we are here so happy to be the exclusive viewing partner of Country Park this year. So, shot by Polito Perez, a 40-yarder, no mistakes, so it is 11 goals to 7. And with still over 5 minutes to play, Polito Perez pulls one back for his side. Can they find a way just to put a bit of pressure? We've seen in the lineouts, they've really been the domain of La Magdeleine so far. Let's see what Murus Sanctus can do here. They need this one here. The ball goes in play. It's at the back, and again, La Magdeleine, they take control. Pablo McDonough spins it round. Sends it long down the ground. He's looking for Facundo Fernandez-Llorente. This time, watching him closely was Alejandro Murus. Murus brings the ball under his spell. Behind him now comes Araja. Araja will pick it up and have a look to see where Murus goes on the run. At the moment, he stays close. Now he goes left, but instead Araja goes right, looking for Polito Perez. But Polito Perez has both the boards and Pablo McDonough to contend with. The ball, it will stay in play as it's here with Polito Perez. Perez sends it long, looking for Araja, who continues to run. Araja now taking on Laborde. Laborde goes back hard, and he can't get round there, could Araja, so it's been left now for Facundo Fernandez-Llorente. Fernandez-Llorente in front there of Murus. Fernandez Llorente, he's looking for Laborde. Laborde picks it up in front of Araja, but got left behind, and it's Araja who spins down first. Underneath the stick there of Laborde. Sends it long down the ground. This one's going to go close. It's going to bounce, but it just bounces wide to the left-hand side. So 11-7 it remains as we approach the halfway point of the final, Chucker. And you felt there, that was the goal. As you see as well, we are of course on Polo Line TV bringing you the Prince of Wales final up at Berkshire, and that is Park Place. They are currently leading the Vikings 8-6 in the fourth chukker of the Prince of Wales, so still plenty of time in that 6 chukkers up there as well. But Park Place, the winners of the British Open last year, they are leading Vikings 8-6 in the fourth chukker of the Prince of Wales at the Royal Berkshire. Roda Polo, you see here e-mobility, the supplier and official partner of Roda Polo. I do urge all of those who do come to these high goal games, it's really worth turning up a few minutes early and seeing a lot of the young players now. They go out on those one-wheeled Rodas. So similar to the feeling and the skill needed to be hitting the ball off the horse as well. The skill levels of those young players, that they have, it really is something to watch. And do watch as well the tournaments that take place all around the world. The Roda, such a big part of the polo circuit now, and a big thank you to e-mobility, the official partners and suppliers of Roda Polo, for everything they do for making this coverage on Polo Line TV possible as it is. So halfway through the 6th and final chukker, the Trippetts Challenge final, brought to you here on Polo Line TV. Highlights of all of the other games are, of course, on our website, pololine.com. Sorry, just to quick fed, all of the highlights are on Polo Line TV as well. It's all the news on pololine.com. And do stay tuned as well as we continue to be the leaders here in all polo coverage. Polo Line TV soon to launch its app, so do keep your eye out on that as well, on Androids and iPhones as well. But here in action, shot down the ground there by Polito Perez, up towards the goal, and what a finish that is, just as we were talking about polo highlights and apps. That is a highlight goal there by Polito Perez, just spinning it round. 11-8, as you see, just in front of Laborde. He's been fighting with those players all day. Polito Perez looking to get round them, and this time he just says, I'm going to hit it in from 80 yards out, drop it right over the goal. So 11-8 now, still time. Ball goes back in the middle. Ball out the back of the line-out this time, but it's Laborde again who picks it up for La Magdeleine, and now Polito Perez has to do the defending work. Araja, he's there as well as Laborde goes. Watch for Pablo McDonough. Pablo McDonough called for the pass, and the 9-goalers fighting. It's McDonough with the near side backhand back into the play, and picked up now by Laborde. Laborde spinning it round in front of Musio. Musio comes in on the near side. Laborde chooses to keep it himself. Given now to Fernandez Llorente. Fernandez Llorente coming round in front of everybody. Fernandez Llorente scores the goal. 12-8, and with a minute and a half just over remaining in this contest, you would think that is the goal, but really does kill off the hope of Murus Sanctus. It was great play there by Laborde. You thought maybe there Fernandez Llorente would take it, deflected off the pony, eventually did, and Fernandez Llorente, scorer of the first goal of this final. I wonder if that may well be the last. 12-8, approaching the final minute for Trippetts Challenge for 2023 here at Calgary Park. It will be going to Alexandre Gares and his La Magdeleine side. Pablo McDonough captained his side superbly. Lost to Murus Sanctus 10-8 in the opening game of this tournament, but they have come back and they have been leading from the front, as you see here as the action does continue. Araja getting the foul at looks time off Pablo McDonough. Pablo McDonough looks bemused, as we see here on the instant replay. It was McDonough. Didn't quite have the play there on the near side or the offside. So that one has gone in favour of Araja and Murus Sanctus. Or will it? The umpire's having a chat with the third man. Third man in the stand is Ben Turner. And this is why Pablo McDonough was looking confused. He felt there was no foul, and the third man up in the sky agrees with him. So no foul. So ball goes back in play. We are now in the final minute. Oh, what a shot by Pablo McDonough. Found the angle, but it's taken out the air there by Musio with a backhand, nobody turning onto it. Played there by Fernando Llorente, looking for Pablo McDonough, but beating into him this time there is Musio right underneath the noses of the umpire, and this time Musio is going to get the decision. Pablo McDonough thought he'd have another go. And it's going to be here with Polito Perez. Perez with the tap. You saw there on the replay there just for a second why Pablo McDonough drew that whistle. But now the players, they know this one's over. Another backhand hit by Laborde, looking for Fernando Llorente on the turn. First there was Polito Perez. He sends Araja on his way. Araja picks it up here on the board. Let's have a look for Polito Perez down the middle. Polito Perez just out of shot now, is waiting for a pass from Araja. Instead he goes left looking for Musio. Musio with the cut shot towards the goal. Musio, it looks like again they've come close so many times, this Murus Sanctus side, but they can't find the posts, and bringing it away now is Alexandre Gares. Gares sending it down, but here first is Musio. Musio spins it round. He's got the cut shot towards the goal, but again just wide to the left hand side again. There can only be seconds remaining in this contest as La Magdeleine go back towards the ball with the ball on their back line. So a reminder of what to come. We are heading to Morocco next week. Chantilly early June. And everything here from Calgary Park as well. All the medium, high goal polo. The centrepiece, of course, being the Gold Cup. As we hear the buzzer go, Pablo McDonough's on a run, but the umpires will blow. That is the end of the Trippetts Challenge. A big thank you to all of our viewers. And what a performance it was by La Magdeleine, Pablo McDonough, Facundo Fernandez Llorente, Alexandre Gares and Santi Laborde. 12 goals to 8. They led right from the beginning. They were 4 goals up at the end of a second, and that is how the game it finished. 12 goals to 8. Murus Sanctus, they had their moments. Polito Perez, Karine Ricard, Musio and Araja, they put up a fight, but in the end, La Magdeleine, just a little bit too much for them. As we have a look at some of the highlights we spoke about, this was a beautiful goal in that last chucker by Polito Perez, who sent it up, just dropped there over the line, you saw. But it wasn't to be enough. And it was these lineouts, as we see one of those here, that really did prove the difference. It'll be interesting to see on the stats after the game here exactly what the lineout difference was. It felt like every time the ball went into play, it was brought away by La Magdeleine. And Laborde running away from Musio there. So impressive in that second half, in particular, Santi Laborde. But Murus Sanctus, like we say, they had their moments. Polito Perez, always so good in those kind of conditions.
I'm not sure I understand.
And the strength again of Laborde just to be seen. And again, the way Pablo McDonough, you see how he just leaves the ball on this play, and that was the teamwork that we saw from La Magdeleine throughout. It looked like very often you see the 9-goaler backing himself to score the goal. He just left it. He had faith in his side. And this ground as well, again, testimony to all of the hard work being done by the ground staff here at Calgary Park, considering the conditions which have been less than ideal throughout the early part of the summer here in the UK. And La Magdeleine, they will be taking home the Trippetts Challenge for 2023. You see them making their way back to the tent, receiving congratulations of friends, family, coaches, staff. And now we see that stats. And it is that throw-in stat. We mentioned it a few times. 16 won by La Magdeleine, 7 by Murus Sanctus. And what makes that even more impactful is a number of those, they picked it up and they scored goals. Penalties pretty good by both sides. Not a lot of fouling. It was a good open game. That 1 yellow card for Facundo Fernandez Llorente in the last chucker. Just a little much energy perhaps put into a swing. as you see here, the final bit of stat. I mentioned it was 4 goals to love at the end of a second. It was that 4-goal difference. Just for a second in the third, it looked like Murus Sanctus maybe finding their way back, but always out in front, always in control, La Magdeleine. They, at the end of the day, are deserved winners here of the Trippetts Challenge. But from all of us at Polo Line TV, I can say a big thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next week in Morocco, Chantilly, and then all of the high goal season throughout here at Calgary. But for myself and the team, a big thank you.